Welcome to episode 10 of Schlocktalk, raising awareness of the coming Robo-Ninja clone holocaust uprising since 2013. Tonight's movie is For Your Height Only, a 1981 Filipino spy thriller directed by Eddie Neichardt.
Thriller my ass. Anyway, go on.
Craig doesn't like anything.
Wait, this was filmed in 1981?
I think this was probably filmed earlier than that, but
Still,
it was released in 1981.
The whole time I thought it was like seriously present day Philippines. Sorry. I'm like, these guys are poor.
So, For Your Height Only is really a fairly run-of-the-mill, if still entertaining, midget secret agent movie, a genre I'm sure we're all more than familiar with. All the expected tropes are on display here, really. Hero, 3 feet tall or under, tiny little revolver, umbrella, parachute jump. All the scenarios we've been beaten over the head with thousands of times before in movies like Dr. Lowe.
Spy Kids.
Oh, man.
Standard boilerplate, really. But what if there's more going on here? What if For Your Height Only is really a secret critique of the despotic then-dictator of the Philippines, Ferdinand Marcos? Let me explain.
Dude.
Okay,
For Your Height Only.
Is this going to involve a collection of shoes at any point?
No, it actually won't. I didn't mention that. Thought the joke was too obvious, Paul. For Your Height Only blows the lid off the little-known, humiliating human rights embarrassment of the Marcos regime. The story repressed in the countries as well as international media. The infamous, if unheralded, late 70s, early 80s Philippine shirt button famine. Which had a startling and long-lasting impact on the lives of the Philippine people. Since lost to the unrelenting forward march of time are the images of children forced to beg in the streets for a few hundred pesos needed to ensure that their mother's brown, saggy nipples would not be exposed to the harsh South Pacific sunlight, blistering and cracking in the inhospitable climate.
Wow, that's some visual imagery. I wish...
Men were only slightly less disadvantaged during this time of deprivation, while disco dudes in the West happily left their polyester shirts unbuttoned to near pubic levels, proudly showing off their chest hair for all the world to see, gold medallions happily nestled therein. Philippine men were left with no choice but to bear their shameful, baby-butt-smooth torsos, gold-plated medallions, slipping and sliding across their sweaty, cigar-colored skin.
My God.
Furthermore,
Seriously got like the...
Here I thought this movie was just about a midget who had to compensate for his dick size by naming himself after it twice.
Furthermore, there is a second secret that Weng Weng and this week's movie keep hidden in plain sight. It's no longer classified that there was a shortage of shirt buttons during the disco era. But why were the Philippines hit so much harder than the rest of the globe? It's quite simple, really. Weng Weng is no little person, and For Your Height Only is no midget spy movie. You see, the Philippines were especially unfortunate during this sad, sad time, because Weng Weng is a fairly average 5'7", and it's just that all the other people around him are well above 9 feet tall, as is almost everyone in the isolated, secretive island nation who kept a fact that they are a race of giants for lo these many decades, which not only helped them corner the market on midget movies under false pretenses, but all but ensured that they were required 6 or 7 more shirt buttons than normal-sized, not freakishly huge people. That said, if Weng Weng were the honest-to-goodness, gnome-like tropical operative that he appears to be here, I would want to put him in my pocket and take him home. Except his nipples. Those things are terrifying. So, tonight's movie is For Your Height Only, one of, I think, 4 Weng Weng movies made in the late 70s and early 80s.
I just want to say I'm completely offended that you didn't introduce us.
Oh, yeah. We should probably do that. So... and who are you again?
No, I was hoping you could tell me.
Hi, I'm Gabe, and here's my crew.
So, Paul, you're here.
Yeah.
Craig.
I'm here under protest.
Joel.
This is my house. Why are you guys here?
And Alan.
That was my idea.
So the movie starts out, and right off the bat, we learn that Weng Weng is Agent 00, the only secret agent in the secret agency, who everyone in Manila apparently knows about.
You know, I like to think that maybe it's just like Weng Weng. Okay, fine. He was born. I don't know. Maybe he has like a learning disability or something, and or even better, it's maybe he's terminally ill, and this is like a Make-A-Wish Foundation. He wants to be a star of his own secret agent adventure, and everyone is just like catering to them and everything, and just acting around it, and he's just kind of fulfilling this childhood fantasy.
He's like that Batman kid in San Francisco.
Does he say more than 5 words in the whole movie that you can count?
Does he really need to? I don't think he even needs to.
If you guys did you watch the behind the scenes documentary? Because it explains that he's a preemie, and between scenes they have to take him in and out of the incubator.
Oh, Jesus. What is it with the Philippines and half-developed fetuses? I mean, they do it with their duck eggs, for crying out loud.
Well,
They've gone to humans.
So on one of Weng Weng's first missions, the movie is, and this movie, let's just be clear, is like just one mission after another that doesn't really make any sense. But as Weng Weng climbs up like the most impossibly adorable little ladder to get into a house and defeat some bad guys. And so we meet Dr. Kohler, who's coming to the Philippines for reasons that aren't really explained. And he tells the driver, "This is my first time here in Manila. It looks very beautiful." Or at least the terminal of the airport does. And so we learn that some of the bad guys are following him, and they kidnap him.
I was really terrified because at the beginning, when the doctor's getting into the car, the guy says, "Step on it." And I immediately thought they were going to crush Weng Weng.
So the bad guys go to their lair, and we learn that the head honcho is Mr. Giant, and he speaks to them through a disco mirror.
Yeah.
It was a makeup
Infinity
mirror.
mirror.
it's an infinity mirror.
Infinity
Yeah.
mirrors.
That's how I speak to my children. No face-to-face contact in my house.
And then, so we meet Weng Weng in person for the first time, and he's hanging out by the pool with some fabulous babes. And we learn that Mr. Giant is trying to get his hands on the N-bomb, which apparently meant something quite a bit different back then.
So does he mean the word or an N-bomb? Don't know.
But just think, if their biggest enemy is Weng Weng, what if they had one black guy?
Well, they do have one black guy. They do have one black guy. They have the Afro Samurai shows up later in the movie.
Yes,
That's
he gives
right.
ethnicity
That's
for
right,
half a
yeah.
second. Yeah.
Well, along with his white chocolate brother.
White chocolate.
Co-homie.
So the scene switches to the bad guy's lair, and the leader says to one of the henchmen, you can say it, Paul. You remember this one.
Which one?
He says, "Don't be a
nosy Parker, Paco."
I love the accent they give on the dub. Man.
No, it was like the entire voice acting cast was from like 1940s gangster movies.
yeah."
Yeah, you see?
Edward G. Robinson voiced
Listen here, you
everybody.
mugs.
He also says, "The forces of good are our sworn enemy," which I found to be refreshingly concise and honest.
They're not self-deluded villains, that's for sure.
Oh no, yeah, we're pretty evil. Pretty sure society hates us, and we are the bane of their existence.
I'm pretty sure after this they
We're
tied
cool
a
with
woman
that.
to a train track and grounded back.
Twirling mustaches and fingers.
So Weng Weng saves this woman, and she tells him that the syndicate had tried to kidnap her, and she escaped. But now she gets shot at once or twice a week, which she seems to be handling with a great deal of casualness.
Yes. Not to mention, this evil organization needs slightly better snipers if they're trying to take her out twice a week.
And I like how his head is just like 2 inches above the table while they're talking.
Oh my god, it's like when you're driving a car and you look behind and you see like a grandma looking over the dashboard of her country squire station wagon on her way to church.
Big old magnifying glasses.
And so there's a scene during this part of the movie where they switch to the bad guy's lair again, and there's a guy smoking a cigarette by taking drags up his nose.
Yeah. Crazy kids with their bath salts and nasal cigarettes.
I chalk that up to different cultures.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey,
We should probably edit that out of the podcast. I don't want to appear insensitive. Cigar-colored skin and all. So, Weng Weng breaks into the drug fortress, and there's a lot of fortress breaking into in this movie.
it's not really breaking into as it's walking through the gigantic holes in the side of the fucking dilapidated buildings that infest the Philippines. Man, they're so poor.
One thing you gotta say about the Philippines, they know how to keep their fucking floors waxed.
Yeah.
Because that would come up about 20 times.
Yeah. And so he breaks into this fortress and literally kicks or punches everyone in the nuts.
What do you do when you're that tall? It's
It's
either
not like you, punch him in the face.
either that or you go into a life of prostitution.
Yeah.
Not only that, but the woman he's with also kicks guys in the nuts the entire time.
Yeah, there hasn't been such a vicious assault on testicles since Paul's junior prom.
Correction,
And just
testicle.
That's my secret, Joel.
So, as the movie's kind of getting started taking off, I found myself wondering a couple of things. A, where is Geppetto? And B, how many Weng Wengs does it take to make a real boy?
Oh my god.
And so we learned that the woman that Weng Weng had saved from the snipers earlier, her name is Lola. And she goes with Weng Weng to a hotel where she seduces a bald man. And while she's standing in the doorway, Weng Weng sneaks in under her legs. And he does this backslide gunshot maneuver that he'll use several times in the movie. And he hits his head and he says, "Oh, my little head!" Which was pretty awesome.
You sound just like him, too.
And again, this is where the waxed floors come into play, because that motherfucker can slide.
Yeah,
man. He goes
seriously,
at least 12
Weng
feet.
Weng is the Max Payne of the Philippines.
Seriously, I want to invite him over to my house and encourage him to have a gunfight in my kitchen. I'm going to soap up his back.
Listen,
Those floors will never be clean.
Paul's like, listen, you little fucker. I have guests, and I'm going to entertain the shit out of them.
And so after this happens, Weng Weng goes back to the secret agency headquarters, and he meets his kind of like his version of Q from the James Bond movies. And he gets his secret agent spy gadgets, and there's a razor hat, like Odd Job, and X-ray specs. And then we also learned that there's like a woman that they have on the inside spying for them against the syndicate.
He's also got the poison detecting ring. He's got like the machine gun attachment that goes on a pistol.
This guy's
at this
almost
time-
as cool as Stargrove's little assistant there. For the
The Rainbow Ranger.
It's this time I'd like to share the song that I've written about this. It's a parody from Lil Wayne's Duffel Bag Boy. Alright, so this is Lil Wayne's Duffel Bag Boy in parody as Lil Wake's Double O Boy.
Damn! Dicks kicked.
Alright, that's it.
I feel like
Thank
putting
you,
some
Alan.
booty shorts on and dancing. I don't know why.
I feel like you should do that too.
Yeah, and I did that all the way.
I feel like I should leave the room.
I did that in my SUV at the.
Oh man,
Jesus.
Craig is beet red now.
It's all good.
So
I actually recorded that in the parking structure at Portland State. And so, while I'm
Your education dollars at work.
yeah, so in between classes, I'm sitting there and I'm screaming into this mic that we're currently using for the podcast. This giant cock of a mic in my truck with my laptop on one seat with my mouse over here, and people are just staring at me. So enjoy.
Yeah. But you live in Portland, so it's all
yeah. So for reasons unknown, and let me assure you, the reasons are always unknown. Weng Weng goes to an amusement park and fights some carnies before hopping on a Ferris wheel and escaping on a zip line.
Yeah,
Do you need a reason to fight carnies?
No, this was interesting because, at first when that Ferris wheel was going around and he kind of eyeballed the guy who was operating the ride, or was negligently operating the ride. I'm like, okay, this is it. He's finally going to get revenge on the guy who basically told me he can never meet the height requirements for these rides.
Yes.
He was having flashbacks of Tom Hanks from Big, and you're like, man, okay, kick that motherfucker's ass. But I don't think they give a shit in the Philippines. He's like, well, whatever. Are you a paying customer? You can go on this ride.
We also see him do some pretty gravity-defying backflips, like over the fence and.
You
stuff
mean
like this.
being lifted over the fence by the guy who's fighting?
All I can do is conjure up flashbacks of Mini-Me being thrown around the set of Austin Powers 2.
I find your lack of faith disheartening, Paul.
Hey, he shows you his freaking, whatchamacallit, Kapoor or whatever. Or what is it? Parkour. He shows you his freaking sick midget parkour techniques plenty of times in the movie.
Yeah. And so after this happens, he meets with a woman and she tries to poison his glass of Coke with her lighter? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
but that's
Makes
fine.
almost about as much sense as him being able to go meet women so
Could the Philippines not afford a small glass vial of water with food coloring that someone could just pour into the drink?
Zippo is much more affordable.
They couldn't afford to buy him a booster seat.
So he detects the poison with his special ring like a pimp.
His Coke, mind you.
And he just drinks out of the bottle because he don't even give a fuck.
Word.
For real. So Weng Weng meets up with another woman at the hotel. And,
Again, where does he keep meeting these women?
And this is Weng Weng's shirtless scene in the movie. We learn he has manhole cover-sized nipples or areolas.
Oh, man.
Absolutely awful.
Those areolas, they look like burnt pancakes with dead flies in the middle.
No, they're like the freaking blow-up valves on a beach ball.
Yeah, man, if you'd have colored them red, white, and blue, they would have been Captain America shields.
I tell you what, there are some jealous women in Africa right now.
Oh, man. Oh, Jesus. This is our most racist podcast so far.
It's not racist that he has big nipples.
No.
It's racist to point it out, Craig.
Why?
We said Weng Weng has gigantic Hershey Kiss nipples.
No matter what race or culture he comes from, if he has massive manhole nipples, it's our right to point it out.
Okay, fair enough.
And according to The Onion, the Irish have been really long nipples.
Yeah. Okay,
So my
Craig.
favorite part's coming up.
So back at the bad guy's lair, we learn that the syndicate is smuggling drugs and loaves of fresh baked bread because nothing is sacred, and they're not even considering the needs of the gluten-free junkies of Manila.
I want to quote what he says. He says, "There's a lot of dough in this dough. The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. The boss says to cover every kindergarten and sandbox. We're going to teach him about pleasure." What the fuck?
I know, and I thought when he said there's a lot of dough in this dough, I thought Craig was probably thinking, did Gabe write this script?
It did run through my mind. It did.
And so Weng Weng sneaks into the bread factory, and he says he wants to meet with the girl that they have on the inside, the spy. And he kills a couple of guys with blow darts and various testicle kicks. And then
But it's like a scene out of like some sort of Abbott and Costello.
It's
or
like Three Stooges.
Yeah.
Where he like kicks one in the nuts and one goes down, and then he kicks him in the face, and then one goes up and he jumps on top, and he's like, ha ha!
Yeah.
And he kicks him in the nuts, and they go down, and he goes down, and it's
like
what
a
the fuck?
No,
is going on?
at this point in
Episode
the
of
movie,
Tom
they're
and
like,
Jerry.
"Oh, this movie's been so serious with this secret agent midget. We need some comic relief. You hit him in the foot with a hammer. He's gonna think that he did it, and then you throw pies in each other's faces.
Don't forget
That's
to
right.
go
We need some levity."
I'm surprised Acme didn't sponsor this.
That whole scene where like they're like I don't know what he's doing. He's like tickling the butthole of another bad guy and runs over and hides behind the conveyor belt, tickles the butthole of another, and they're all like looking at each other.
I
During
must,
this movie, I expected to hear that fucking theme, that music.
Benny Hill music. Benny Hill music.
Yeah.
See the old bald man come out and chasing Weng Weng across the lawn.
As Weng Weng's chasing the bad guy, and then all of a sudden there's some girl in just some negligee chasing him as he's running out some door. And the bad guy peeps out, ha!
he looks directly at the camera, raises his eyebrow a couple of times, and then runs away. And so, at this point, the boss has figured out that they've been infiltrated by Weng Weng. He's very angry about this turn of events. And so, the spy that is in the gal, I can't remember her name.
Does it matter?
It doesn't.
Lola?
No, Lola was the girl he saved. Is it the same one?
I think so.
I think
No,
she was.
I thought it was a different person altogether. Well,
No, I think it is Lola, because he ends up killing her.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, it's in my quotes I took, because there's so many fucking terrible quotes.
So, the Lola gets out and she goes to meet with Weng Weng at an outdoor cafe, which seems like a bad idea given the fact that everybody in Manila is looking for them. And she informs him that the syndicate intends to steal some gold, and she also tells him that he's cute and says, "You're very petite, like a potato." Which I don't mean to steal your thunder
No, it's
there,
all good,
Alan. That
please.
one fucking ruled.
That's
That was my
yeah.
favorite.
That was pretty
what the
good.
fuck does
Yeah.
that even mean?
And one I missed,
She's got a potato fetish.
one I missed in the beginning was when the guy that talks like he's from the 50s says, "They must be exterminated, and I mean lethally."
To be fair, Craig, he does look like a potato with a Dee Dee Ramone haircut.
Yeah, with those nipples, they look like eyes growing out of the potato.
Really big
That's when you know
eyes.
you have to throw them away.
Wow,
Eyes
now we're
that can
getting
think
racist.
And so, at this point in the movie, we've seen enough of these syndicate henchmen to make me wonder, can people in the Philippines not afford shirt buttons?
They
Also,
I thought that was your whole intro.
it was. That didn't make any sense. None of these guys have shirts buttoned above their belly buttons. And so Lola plants a tracking device so Weng Weng can find her where the syndicate are, and Weng Weng finds the bad guys and throws the tracking device, which is also a gas grenade.
Who knows?
Okay. And he foils their plans yet again.
Okay, and somehow, using Coco the gorilla sign language, she's able to communicate with the businessmen that he needs to cover his mouth with a handkerchief, even though he's hiding behind boxes of crates. Was the hand motions? I wish we were a video podcast.
Oh, that's right, because he saves a guy here. There's a guy they have captive, right?
Right, and it looks like he's sprinkling fairy dust.
Well, he is.
Paul, all magical creatures have fairy dust.
And
you
Weng Weng
snort-
is magical.
If you snort Weng Weng and go towards the second star on the right somewhere, you are set, sir.
I want Weng Weng to like spend the night at my house because then like all my clothes will be hemmed and fixed and stuff like that. That's how it works.
Your shoes
leave
will,
a
your
saucer
shoes
of
will
milk
be
out
cobbled.
Yeah, new cobbled shoes.
Yes!
Oh, shit.
You'll have some nice cookies baked in some fantastic shapes.
Of course, if you don't pay him
Fresh
correctly,
out
he'll
of the
steal
tree
your...
in the backyard.
I'll just
There
give
actually
him.
is
I don't
sawn
know.
nipples.
I don't know what you're supposed to pay elves, your firstborn child, whatever. It's all his.
Yeah, you have to pay him correctly, or else he'll steal your children in the morning.
Rumple Weng Weng.
That sounds like I could call my penis.
I said rumple, not crumpled.
I'm gonna let Craig recover a little bit. Okay, he's okay. He's okay. So the scene switches to some of the toughs at a bar drinking and talking about how they want to get their hands on Weng Weng, and they happen to look across the street and he's walking on the sidewalk.
Nothing makes a trio guys feel more badass than chasing a
yeah.
midget.
Yeah.
You know, and finding a 2-foot guy, I mean, he's really hard to spot. No, literally.
And it's about this time we get another badass quote where he says, the 50s guys again says, the post-mortem would be lead poisoning. Yeah, you see? Because you die from not the bullets themselves. Several days later from agonizing pain from poisoning from said bullets.
I don't understand. Why did he swallow all these bullets, Doctor?
Suicide.
So the bad guys see in Weng Weng, they chase after him.
About pleasure.
They chase after Weng Weng, but he uses his razor hat to chase him off, and we learn that he can remote control his razor hat with the poison detection ring.
Take that on, job. You fucking
Yeah.
You know, I predict that is going to be the hot, sought-after Christmas toy next year.
Yeah.
That hat.
Poison
it's
detection
funny.
ring,
We'll
razor
see.
hat, remote control device.
Was it supposed to have a razor brim? Was he supposed to be like Kung Lao from Mortal Kombat and slicing motherfuckers in half? Because it just kind of like bounced off or hit him in the crotch, like, I don't know,
Just
every
kinda
other
chased him.
cartoon antic, yeah.
Yeah, I
think
think
they
chase
cut
him
it-
like it was that from Wile E. Coyote. But the look on his face while he's operating the remote, it's like he's like a little bitch.
Yeah, I think they
yeah.
cut it out of the movie, but you can also use that hat to julienne slice potatoes.
Yeah, there you go.
I've had a lot of very good hash brown breakfasts at
But they
Paul's
didn't
house.
do it. But
I can assure you this man knows how to julienne a potato.
But they wouldn't do it because of Weng Weng's newfound love for potato.
Yeah. He just has to be careful not to get it too close to himself. So also the kind of the next boss
You're
up.
forgetting the best part, though. He freaking, after fucking, I don't know, Tron bouncing this fucking razor rim hat off of all the fucking bad guys. Perfectly fucking remote control pilots it back to land perfectly on top of his head. I mean, there's so much goddamn cuteness in this movie.
I know. And for being friends with your dad on Facebook and seeing how many times he kills his fucking plane, I would just imagine that like 90% of the time he would actually cut his own fucking head off with this hat instead of actually getting it to land perfectly on his head.
Yeah. Maybe he was like cloned and they had like an army of Weng Wengs.
Yeah. Maybe they can no longer produce, and that's like he's like the prototype for how they're gonna procreate or something.
So the next boss up the syndicate ladder, he wears clothes that makes him look like the Filipino Mario.
Oh, to me.
Yes.
Some point about here in the movie, the syndicate realizes there's a spy in their organization, and it's Lola, I guess. And they tail her into town, and she meets up with Weng Weng, and he realizes that her cover's been blown.
Yes, this is what I wanted to get on. I didn't want to bust it, but this is what he said. So this is how you communicate with your little Wang. He's pointing to a necklace.
Yeah, I remember that line.
So the bad guys are chasing them through.
Greg, how do you communicate with your little Wang?
Sign language.
No,
A lot of use of hands.
his little Wang is both blind and deaf, so he has the touch.
Yeah. Vigorous hand
He
motions.
uses braille porn.
Right.
I communicate by hammer and nail. If you fucking intimidate, that shit will work as you want it to.
So the bad guys are chasing Weng Weng and Lola through town, and he fights off the bad guys with a barrage of adorable shots to the balls.
Like,
Oh
I
my
swear,
God.
I hear that little ding sound every time he kicks him.
Can we start a band right now? A barrage of adorable shots to the balls.
We need to On the website, we just need to have like just a stream of all the people in the nuts getting cracked open on this.
Yeah.
And I realized at this point in the movie, the Syndicate could have solved all of their problems by investing in some jock straps and baseball cups.
Yeah, this is also where Mario gets fed up with Weng Weng and states, "I declare war on that little stinker."
It's a me, Mario.
Yes.
See?
That little fucker's been plugging up every toilet.
So Weng Weng goes back to another hotel. There's a lot of hotels in this movie. And there's a bad guy there waiting for him with an umbrella gun. And at this point, he does his...
Carruthers.
yeah.
Because why not?
And Weng Weng at this point does his second backside gunshot maneuver, but realizes that he's cornered by the bad guy, so he runs back and he grabs the umbrella, because he killed the umbrella assassin. He runs back into the hotel room, and there's a woman in a towel in there, and he climbs into the bed and kisses her.
Well, now, first he actually runs past her to the window.
Yeah.
And she just sits there like a glazed out crack addict. Yeah. He looks out the window, he runs back to the door, then he runs over and he kisses her, and she still looks like a glazed over crack addict. She responds to none of this. She's used to having small men in and out of her house.
Well,
Well, she does respond because as she's kissing her, her left hand just kind of creeps up a butt on his shoulder.
All right,
And
guys,
then she waves like a weird robot as he leaves.
this is a
She
sad
was having the
true
best
fact.
trip of her life.
That was Weng Weng's actual mom.
Oh,
She
Jesus.
was on crack, and that's why he's so short.
Thank you, Mom. Your negligence as a mother is what's made me a celebrity in this poor country.
Well, at least he picks her with some tongue. I mean,
We're getting ready for another great part in the movie.
so Weng Weng has his umbrella, and he jumps out of the window using the umbrella as
Exactly.
a parachute.
Mary fucking Poppins style.
Robin style. He jumps out of this fucking 14th story building
Yeah.
with an umbrella and lands in the arms of this giant, hairy NAMBLA member.
And they think at first he's a little boy, and they're like, no, he's a little man.
Oh,
my
and
god.
then-
Yeah, it's
I shall
fantastic.
name him Mini Nambla Man.
And so, back in another hotel room, he thinks he's heard something in his room, and he uses the X-ray specs that he got earlier in the movie. And there's 3 guys waiting behind the curtains, and he shoots them because they have not bothered to see if it is him that has entered the room.
Like, seriously,
I know.
were they freaking asleep? Like, someone enters the freaking door, or someone could just, like, peek, perhaps, past these red velvety drapes that are all put around the room.
I know, right? And like, so his room is nothing but drapes. So he's got a bed and drapes, nothing but drapes. All of his clothes is piled up on his bed. And so he decides, like, oh, since my room is made of drapes, I'm going to put on these glasses so I can see what's behind the drapes. And he sees 3 naked men.
Yeah.
Instead of pulling out his gun and shooting him then, he decides to take off his fucking glasses, search for his gun, and then shoot where the fuck he remembered these bastards were.
That's pretty badass.
So, after doing this, Weng Weng leaves the hotel and goes to Disco Island?
That sounds more like a prison.
Yeah. No, and it's actually what it's called because there's a sign that points to where Disco Island
Sounds
is.
like my
Is
hell.
this the part where he turns into a donkey?
What? Oh my god, it's a
Pinocchio
Pinocchio
reference.
joke. Yeah, okay. Took me a minute. Sorry, Paul. And so right around here, too, is where the syndicate kidnaps Weng Weng's girlfriend. And they're going to take her back to her lair, but her necklace is a communicator, and they realize that he's going to know where she's at. And the bad guys, they use the necklace to draw Weng Weng out. And they capture him and tie him up and put him in a box.
Do they use a necklace? With
Yeah.
He's attracted to shiny objects.
I usually use porn to lure my Weng Weng out.
So it's not a shoe box or a ring box or even a contact lens case, but a perfectly normal-sized box you could fit a normal-sized 3-year-old in, and he or she would only have to slightly bend their legs to fit inside. He promptly escapes with some sort of C4 bubble gum and immediately ups the nut shot ante with retractable blades that spring out of the tips of his tiny little white kiss boots.
Oh, no, this was the scene where they catch him and put him in the box. You know, it was so cute because they didn't involve, like, this is like one of those other things where it's, it's a little kid or whatever. They put him in the box and the guy just fucking sits on the box. They don't fucking lock the box up or set it on fire.
The guy just sitting
or fill it with piranha or anything. The guy just sits on the box.
Well, to be fair, I mean, Weng Weng can bench press, what, like 5.5 pounds? You know, I mean, it's not like he's taking it out.
Those nipples weigh at least that much a piece.
Yeah,
And
hauling those big cans around.
So after he gets out and escapes, the bad guy says, "The little devil has done it again. He's made a monkey out of the forces of evil." Which was I think my favorite line from the whole movie.
He's made a monkey out of the forces of evil.
So Weng Weng kills off several more of the bad guys, this time with the most delightful revolver in movie history. He also pulls off the backslide gunshot move a couple more times, and I had to wonder, are all midgets this slippery? Also,
I know for a fact that if you hit him on the head, gold coins do not pop out. And you spend 2 days in jail, which is fucked up. I just want to say.
I think this movie started the trend of midget bowling from like the 1980s.
Yeah. Also,
Nice.
Slippery Midgets, band name.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the 00 faction, what they did is they actually sent a secret operative group of floor buffers in before everywhere that Weng Weng would go. Just sort of as advanced deployment.
Eventually, he's going to die of a concussion, see?
Wax your floor for free? What? The forces of evil have no need for floor waxing? Oh, whatever. Come on.
His favorite move was that sliding on his ass gunshot move.
Seriously, the Max Payne, Neo from the Matrix, Weng Weng trademark.
Yeah, this is well before all those. So
Who was this directed by? John Woo Woo?
Yes. So the syndicate guys realize that Weng Weng is now coming for them. It's taken them this long to figure that out. And that he's coming to get Irma, who's his girlfriend that they've kidnapped. And that he's also killed Jack, who's the Filipino Super Mario guy, because he's dead now.
Yeah, their arch villains don't last.
I
very
know,
long
and
in
so
this
my
movie.
quotes end, because that was my favorite guy.
And Weng
When he
Weng
died, I cried, man.
Yeah.
I stopped the movie, I got on my knees, and I said a small prayer. Fucked up, man. He was my boy.
That was your homie.
That was
He
my
lit a
boy,
candle
Mario.
And then he
God,
played
fucking-
Super Mario.
Yes.
Please halt for moments of silence while we upend our drinks and pour one out for our lost homie.
So Weng Weng puts a tracer on the bad guy's car, which is a VW Bug, because that's badass in the Philippines. And he finds yet another syndicate lair and climbs the fence and then hides in the hole the water meter guy would come by to read the meter out of. And we find out, too, during this scene that Weng Weng not only punches guys, but he's more than willing to shoot them in the nuts as well.
Yeah, he's up in the ante. I mean, it's all these punching in the nuts, and then it's like the blade boots.
Yeah.
Well, he was raised by his crackhead mom. He had a lot of resentment towards his father for certain reasons, and this is how he expressed it.
So after this infiltration into yet another bad guy's lair, Weng Weng meets with another woman at another disco, and the guy she's been hanging out with try and fight Weng Weng, but he beats them up, and then he bangs her at yet another hotel.
Yeah, but he beats them up again in the most adorable way, like the teddy bear.
Yeah, that's right.
Like cuddly and lovey, and he's like all on them. And even like the part where he's punching them really fast in the face, it's just really cute. And he says to her, "Shall we get it on?" "Yes, my darling. Bear your bod."
Oh, shit. Also, at one point around this time, we see Weng Weng smoking, and it looks like a normal-sized person sucking on an oversized tailpipe.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's like he's got a Camel 4000.
Are you trying to smoke an energy drink, Weng Weng? Oh, no, it's just a cigar.
I noticed they didn't film on any golf courses because they didn't want him to fall in any holes.
The Philippines have golf courses? Where did they get that money?
Selling off small children.
So early in the movie, we'd seen a woman taking pictures of one of Weng Weng's dead victims, and she shows up, and we learn that her name is Marilyn. And they look through her pictures, and then they get into workout gear and go for a power walk.
I know I need a power walk every time I jerk off to dead people.
Doesn't he fight some bad guy again? Like, he does the signature move again, where this guy's, like, kicking down the door, and he gets on his back and shoots him on the ground again.
And so we find out that the next mini-boss, because this movie apparently takes place inside a video game.
So true.
That is a beautiful analogy,
That's
man.
awesome.
No pun intended, this guy's name is Baldo. But they all call him Tattoo. And so Weng Weng attacks and defeats Baldo, which is totes adorbs. And so, right after this, he sneaks into yet another evil lair, and it's clear in this scene that this is a guerrilla shoot because there's a passerby on the street who clearly wants to know who this midget is, and what he's doing sneaking over the front gate of this residence.
So, wait. Keeping track of this, what number layer is this now? Is
Oh, this is
layer
like
number
6 or
5?
7, yeah.
Is this like the temple? The one the temple is breaking into?
I think this is where he fights the samurai guy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
that is.
It was funny. Passerbys, it's like you could see them if you watch the movie. The passerbys would like turn their head and watch this midget crawling up the wall, much like a fly clings to surfaces with the hairs on his feet. Crawling up the wall. They're just walking by, watching this guy scurry up the wall.
And they look honestly perplexed.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Imagine if you're just walking down the street and you see a midget climbing the building. And someone filmed you. That's what happened to these people.
Yeah.
Did that kid forget his house keys?
It'd be
That's
like,
pretty much
you
what
know,
it
I
is.
should maybe call the police, say something suspicious is going on. That guy's not a threat. What
But
is he
it's
going
not-
to steal? Their candy?
And I like another signature move where he tickles the bad guy's ass. And then pulls them down to beat them up. It's like the bad guys, because all the bad guys are sitting there either smoking or drinking. They're lazy fucks, that I'm trying to say. And he comes up and tickles their ass, and the bad guy will look down, and then he'll take them out. But he's got the first ass tickle first.
And this isn't just a midget climbing over a fence. This is a midget in a white leisure suit
Yes!
climbing over a fence.
Now you said
With
this.
one button done of his shirt.
You're like, I'm dead. I'm witnessing this. I'm obviously dead.
So you said this is like the 7th layer,
Something like that.
and he still hasn't found the princess.
I'm sorry, Weng Weng. The princess is in another castle.
It's level 8 you get to the princess.
Yes.
So after he climbs this gate, Weng Weng fights several guys with samurai swords. Mini, little, cute little samurai
God, that was
swords.
adorable.
And he
I
was-
just wanted to
I
hug
can't
mean-
remember. Was Weng Weng fighting them with like a little butter knife?
I think it was a letter.
That's right.
He was sword fighting. Weng Weng is a swashbuckler.
And so he fights Afro Samurai, not even kidding,
Yeah.
and Nick Cave.
But
The
I
guy
think
that he
you-
kills here is like a dead ringer for Nick Cave.
Yeah, it's
When
this
he's-
white dude.
When he's fighting these guys with the samurai sword, they're like, it's like they're fighting a normal human being. Like they're attacking a normal human being, and then they're surprised they're getting sliced in the gut by a 2-foot tall dude. Like it's so weird. Like they run at him like they're gonna hit a normal adult, but then they get sliced in the belly, and then they look at him like, "How did you get me?"
You know, most people
Where did
don't
you come
train
from?
to fight infants with swords. It's the disadvantage.
Even though I've never, I haven't trained to fight anybody, but I can guarantee you, I can kill 1,000,000 infants. I could murder the fuck out of 1,000,000 infants before one of them stabbed me with a butter knife.
I think we
I'm
better call
telling
Mythbusters.
Yeah. There we go. On today's episode, can Jamie and Adam kill a midget before the midget kills them?
It'd be funny to be like, so what we need to figure out is the exact number of babies it takes before I die. Are we talking about 450 midget or 450 babies or 500 babies? That's the magic Goldilocks number of babies.
I did some research, and apparently the Mayans, back in like 400 BC, tried to prove this myth long ago.
The babies could do it. You just drop them on them from a crane. It'd be fine.
So Weng Weng is like the asshole who picks Odd Job when you're playing GoldenEye. Right?
The dick shooting midget from GoldenEye.
I was gonna say Soul Calibur with the the Star Wars one, you pick Yoda.
Yeah.
And you can't hit that fucker for nothing.
So at some point in this part of the movie, getting back onto the plot here, Weng Weng mentions something.
What'd you say?
Mentioned something about Dr. Kohler, who I'd completely forgotten about. That's what this is all about. Is this Dr. Kohler with the N-bomb from the beginning of the movie?
Oh, that racist.
And so when Weng Weng kills these bad guys at this lair. One of them has a business card that has an address to the next evil lair, which seems like poor villain business practice, in my opinion. And so
We're evil, we're not smart.
Weng Weng takes a taxi to the next lair, but the cab driver forgot to put gas in the car, and Weng Weng has to walk until he's picked up by Robert Zadar's black half-sister.
Yeah.
Who loves Weng Weng and gives him a kiss and drops him off at the battlefield where the henchmen are waiting for him, because that's a perfectly reasonable series of events.
Yes, it is. It had to be included in the plot for...
Can you drop me off at the battlefield, please?
Yeah.
Did you pack your lunch pail?
That'll be $13.74, little man.
So the bad guys get the drop on Weng Weng, and they have him on like a railroad bridge. And just as they're about to shoot him, the train comes along, and I had to wonder, is this the prequel to Stand By Me? Meanwhile, at the Syndicate lair, they're slapping Irma around, and when she protests, they tell her not to call her any names or else she's going to really get it.
Wow.
Weng Weng sneaks into this yet another lair and has to stop at one point to check himself out in the mirror because even he cannot deal with what a precious little darling he is.
Damn, today's the day I'm going to get adopted.
But the guy who's slapping that girl around is wearing a bunch of different, like the male symbol and female, like his shirt is covered with a bunch of male and female symbols interlocked together in this weird fucking metro pattern.
Like the freaking Prince symbol.
Yeah. So he takes out the crime boss of this lair and he shoots his way through everyone else. And I had to wonder exactly at this point how many people are still left alive in the Philippines.
Let alone, when
how
are we
many
gonna
people
fucking
can
see
still
that Infinity
procreate?
Mirror again?
Yeah. So he finds a map this time, and I just have to cross my fingers that this is finally Mr. Giant's lair, which it turns out it is.
No, it is Mr. Giant's lair because his floors are super waxed.
Yeah.
Because he flies like 30 feet through this room.
And we'll find out why here in a minute. So the map, which looks like a third grader's first Dungeons and Dragons map, shows...
It says Hidden Island on the fucking map! There's no grid lines! It's just a fucking kid's treasure map!
Yeah. So Weng Weng gets a jetpack and flies his adorable little ass to the island and calls for backup from the secret agency. And we find out, as Paul had predicted at the beginning of the movie, that Mr. Giant is a little weird midget person too.
With really fucked up teeth.
Yeah, and he's a spry little fucker ducking behind ottomans and TV trays and shit.
I mean, you gotta be when fucking Weng Weng shows up with his crazy helmet of destruction.
Yeah. And we find out, too, that Mr. Giant is a kung fu master, and he gives Weng Weng a run for his money for a little bit, but we learn that Weng Weng is not afraid to kick a fellow little person in the nuts, too.
My only weakness.
Tiny nuts, one would presume.
Like freaking peanut M&M nuts.
I'm sure they look like salted peanuts.
You know, with the crazy possibilities of a midget and a midget, would this be like a movie watching where the main protagonist is this crazy, like, hermaphroditic, like, crazy fucking person, and finding out that it's the exact same guy, like, hermaphroditic crazy person as the enemy, and you're like, oh my god, you're my fellow crazy hermaphrodite.
It's like the
person.
fucking mirror match from Mortal Kombat.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat, he finishes Mr. Giant off with a midjality.
Oh, beautiful.
And so all the bad guys, henchmen at the secret island or the hidden island, have red berets and turtlenecks with the symbol that shows their support for marriage equality on them. We'll have to post that on the website, by the way.
Yes, it's terrible. Their outfits are fucking adorable again.
So Weng Weng rescues Irma and Dr. Kohler, who we've all completely forgotten about at this point. And are they just straight up murdering the entire population of the Philippines at this point? Because that's what seems to be going on. So Irma saves Weng Weng from being shot, but she gets shot herself and he holds her head in his little Oreo-sized hands while she passes away.
It was so beautiful.
The way she gets shot, though, seriously, is like a movie from the 20s. She, like, arches her back and her arms slowly go up, and she's like,
As I recall it, she thought her strategy for fighting was to stand out in the open and wait for people to shoot her. And then it happened.
Like, I'm in this tiny peninsula where everyone can see me. I'm just going to shoot. And then...
Yeah, and when you said Oreo, I thought you were talking about his nipples.
Thankfully, those do not make a second appearance in this film.
I will never be able to eat Oreos again.
Thank you, Paul.
So
Cream-filled.
Irma...
Double stuffed.
Oh, yeah, they definitely are double
You
stuffed.
just take a marshmallow and make him squeeze him between his pecs, and that's the scene you get.
Oh, my dick just sucked up into my body cavity.
Jesus. That reminds me of that vagina, like, yeah, I'll just
Trails
stop
of a
there.
beautiful
No, I'll say it. Fuck it. The vagina and the grilled cheese thing. Yeah, everyone, fuck you. I'm drunk.
So Irma, as Irma is dying,
I'm on my way.
she salutes Weng Weng and she dies.
The end.
And the last scene shows Weng Weng visiting Irma's grave, and as he walks away, the music swells and the credits roll. And that's the end of the movie. So would you guys watch this again? Because I loved this fucking movie.
I watched
I
it twice.
fucking loved it. Like, I want to see them just up the ante. I want to see more midgetry exploited. Just the fucking shit exploited out of midgetry. All kinds of stuff. Like, I want to see him shot out of a fucking cannon. I want to see him fucking crawling through like a fucking sewer main. Everything.
I want to see him wearing a baby bonnet. Sucking on a pacifier.
I wanted to get more and more exaggerated to the point that, like, Weng Weng is apparently 3 inches fucking tall. Okay?
You say there's 4 of these movies? I guarantee you I'm going to see 3 more of these movies before fucking tomorrow.
I thought
find
it
this
was
shit.
crap. And why I thought it was crap because it was written by a 3-year-old who thought at every single point in the way, you know what would be cool? More people being punched in the fucking balls. And that was what he said every 5 minutes of the fucking film.
Craig doesn't like anything. It's okay.
In fact, I love it so much, I think we should start, like, some kind of Kickstarter to get him to be in some kind of fucking, like, Game of Thrones-ish medieval fantasy fucking
We'll remake
movie.
The Borrowers.
Well, I'm sad to say, Weng Weng passed away in like 91 or 92.
Oh.
No longer with us.
There is
91.
no God!
Just take a 3rd grader, put him in some fucking makeup, and put him on the stage. It'd be the same thing.
Tape some Oreos to his chest
How
and
can he
shove
not
him out
come
there.
back from the fucking grave like Jesus Christ did? He is so goddamn angelic.
I know. It's really sad. I did really enjoy this movie. I think it's one of the favorite ones that we've
Oh,
watched
yes.
so far.
Absolutely. This is
A
really
lot of
good.
fun. I mean,
It's
it's
kind of a palate cleanser.
Oh, seriously, yeah.
yeah,
It's
yes,
nice
absolutely.
to go ahead and just get up out of the filthy, stinky, shit-smelling rape and brutality mire that we've been wallowing in like pigs on a farm. And go take a nice, clean shower and just look at nice, genuine PG crap.
That was one of my main problems with the movie. It wasn't wallowing in rape shit. Where was the rape shit?
Where was the expletives?
Yes,
Where was
I
the
know.
animal mutilation?
It's that cleansing shower after you visit your grandfather.
I've got a stick of Rolos in my pocket for you.
Oh
Want
my
some
god.
hard
That fucker
candy?
does not have any popsicles in his fucking basement. I can tell you that for goddamn sure.
The Bengay is in the middle drawer.
Oh, man.
Here, have some old person candy.
That's right.
Wow.
We're not only racist, we're ageist, too.
Yes.
Fuck you.
Fuck you and
Funny
your
'cause it
Werther's
didn't happen to
candy.
me.
It's funny because it didn't happen to Alan. Oh my god, that's awesome.
Oh, fuck balls.
So, do we have any post podcast stuff today?
I have STDs.
Okay.
We were discussing in the car on the way over here. There's no reason to even have ST do's and don'ts, since the podcast usually on its own is a don't.
No, the podcasts are a do.
The movies on the podcast are
Our
dope.
commentary, it's like, for instance, I've never watched like Thor without some type of like spoofing commentary. I've never watched the movie Thor without, like, for instance, the riff tracks comedy or whatever audio track on that.
They should release it.
Yeah, that's all they should do. And so these are very much do's, except maybe Ilsa or Emmanuel. I don't know.
Oh, fuck.
yeah.
Don't those
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
Well,
There are some that are definite don'ts.
Hannibal
in an
Ferris.
effort to
Don't.
prove that sometimes I do watch legitimately good cinema, I've sought out a few good films, and one of the movies I've seen recently was called Banshee Chapter, and it's an interesting little horror movie. It's got a Hunter S. Thompson type character, and it's all about like the MK Ultra drug testing.
Oh yeah,
Where they
Tell
gave
me about
people
this.
acid and stuff, and the drug that they used apparently opened up like another dimension, allowing something
Okay.
to come in. And it's a little film, not much of a budget, but
Where could one get said film, Paul?
I got it on demand, and I think
On
it's
demand, what? Like Netflix on demand, or
actually like through cable.
Yeah,
okay,
Comcast.
cable.
It's
Comcast
not.
on demand.
It'll probably hit Netflix eventually, but I think it's a limited theatrical release right now.
Yeah, it's a little flick. It's a German import.
Yeah.
What about the little flicks this week, apparently?
I've got a don't. I'd got a gift certificate and took my wife to the movies and went and saw American Hustle because that was all that was really playing that we wanted to see. And it was lame.
Really?
Yes. Just standing around talking. Jennifer Lawrence and who's the redhead in that movie?
I can't remember.
I don't give a fuck. I like Jennifer Lawrence.
They get half naked through the whole movie, but nothing. Not as much as you want them
A little
to.
let down.
Yeah. And it's just a bunch of talking.
They're no Don Dunlap, for Christ's sake.
Well, that is true.
Are you talking about their acting abilities?
They're not Don Dunlap.
Hopefully
I would like to. I'd like to speak for just a
Yeah,
slight
great
second
figures.
on the fucking dumbasses who fuck up the Frankenstein thing.
The I Frankenstein?
Frankenstein is the name of the guy that made the fucking monster. It's Frankenstein's monster. Okay? Frankenstein was the doctor. The monster was the name of the fucking monster because it was a monster. I just want to get that out. No, I've never read the book, so go fuck yourself. It just bothers me. I, Frankenstein, is going to suck.
Well, it's
Alan's
already
been spending
out.
too much time with
I
his
think the box
grandfather lately.
office has already proven
They've
that.
kind of.
I don't know. I'm saying it. I'm not going to watch it because it pisses me the fuck off. Because it'd be I, Frankenstein, monster.
Yeah, it should just be called I Monster.
Yes, monster. Just
But
monster.
then people would think it was about an eyeball monster.
But even then, it's still bad grammar. I don't go around like I Joel.
Or they'd think it was a new Apple product.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Try the new I Frankenstein. We've ripped off hardware from other really good fucking products
Take
and
some
made our own.
bolts in your neck and get some car starters. And
So, Paul, did you have a wild pitch?
Yeah, actually I do.
Or do you want to save it for the next one?
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, you guys ready for this?
no, but
I'm ready.
Anyway,
Okay. Tonight's wild pitch, I decided to kind of go a little differently, and this is a superhero movie.
Nice.
Like a Captain America, a third one perhaps.
Well, here we
is
go.
the superhero name like Major Balls? Because that would fit right into
let's-
your.
let's-
Okay.
Let's
Yeah.
wait. A mysterious space traveler known only as the John.
Okay, there we go. I knew it was coming.
The John?
I love it.
Travels to Earth on a mercy mission to save our planet. Posing as a human, he seeks out the 4 chosen ones. Luckily for him, they are all prostitutes that work at the same sleazy motel. Once they ingest his alien semen,
What? Wait. Okay. No, go ahead.
Wait,
okay.
male or female prostitutes?
Wait, just listen to the pitch.
That just took a dark turn.
This guy's name is the John, and he's giving to prostitutes.
Once,
How much more on the nose do you need this to be?
once they
I'm sorry, I was
ingest-
thinking bathroom.
I was thinking too.
But, you know, when it
Okay.
turned out to be
Okay,
prostitutes.
okay, go ahead.
Once they ingest his alien semen, a new team of superheroes is born. The Flexible Four.
Literally born, I'm taking it at this point in time.
Immediately?
Or are they
Born?
Are they created, or is the semen they
Can I
ingested
continue?
impregnating
Let's
them to
listen.
make
Wait a
Let's
minute.
I
Are
need
the
clarity.
four? You said born. Now, is this the
I didn't
prostitute?
say born.
Yes,
Well,
you
born.
did.
Okay, I did say
Yes,
born.
we don't, well, they took
Reborn.
in semen, and suddenly heroes were born. Where
They didn't
literally-
give birth.
Okay,
That's
they
what I
were
need to
transformed through the
Okay,
magical
yes.
power
Okay.
of semen.
Yeah.
I need this clarity.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Down on his luck, rent boy Peter Pounder is transformed into.
Yeah, you and your names. Peter Pounder.
God.
Okay, let me try this again. Down on his luck, rent boy Peter Pounder.
Was he down on his knees or down on his luck at this point in
Both.
time? Okay.
Peter Pounder is transformed into Reach Around. His new ability is to stretch great distances to reach a crotch behind him. Champagne Darling was once an aspiring gymnast before she hit the streets in order to earn money for her father's sex change surgery.
Of course.
The cosmic cum turns her into lickety splits. Now when she goes spread eagle, a long snake-like tongue emerges from her loins.
I'm surprised an actual eagle doesn't pop out.
Sounds like that fucking video you forwarded to us on Facebook.
Ex-Las Vegas showgirl Ruby Topaz was destined for the spotlight.
Wait. That's the most normal name we've had so far? Is Ruby Topaz? Jesus Christ, continue, Paul.
It's a porn name, but go
Ruby
ahead.
Topaz was destined for the spotlight until the tragic injury that ended her dancing career. Stuck in the past, she still wears boob tassels every day to remind her of what could have been. The space spunk transforms her into titty twister. Her nipples now resemble diamonds, and her breasts spin, allowing her to drill through walls. Washed up birthday party magician Doug Henningway succumbed to a life turning tricks rather than performing them.
Oh, I
Now-
see you in a whole different light.
So
Fantastic. So this is a fantastic foursome.
let me clarify this. So the prostitutes at the hotel, they were gender mixed at that point in time?
Yeah.
I was thinking four chicks.
That's what I thought at first too. But,
Anyway, go
for
ahead.
it.
yeah.
Okay. His greatest act was making penises disappear until the John's Milky Way, as in curds and whey, mutated him into David Copperfield.
At this point, I would like to point out that this guy is not the only one as an expert at making penises disappear, because this whole script is made monstrable and go away.
I commend you, Paul. This is
Okay,
fairly awesome.
all right. Now when he touches someone's privates, he can read their minds. The John assembles his new team of heroes to battle the threat of the evil Dr. Coctopus.
Naturally.
An alien bent on Earth's destruction. He too has been creating mutants and assembling his own team of supervillains.
Okay, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt again. Is he an alien as in the illegal kind from Japan? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
Extraterrestrial.
Okay, so this is what I got. Here's the names of the supervillains.
Maybe they're from Germany.
Pelvic Thruster.
Definitely Germany.
You better beware when he humps the air. Booty Shaker, a.k.a. Twerk the Jerk.
They're from, like, Brazil.
Her gyrating rump has the power to crush rocks.
And men's souls.
Dick Disco. He can blind you with his dazzling mirror ball testicles.
American, definitely.
And the Contortion Fist.
Oh, God.
His self-lubricating head makes it easy to penetrate his foes.
Russia.
You know, when I said, is one of the characters named Major Balls at the beginning, yeah, now you know why.
No, I see this as like an ongoing series of. It's like the new X-Men.
No, seriously, like they should really
The
kickstart this
X-Men.
shit now.
Yeah. Give a name for the movie.
What's the movie? Fantastic Foursome.
The Flexible Four.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic
Well,
Foursome.
we can change it.
I like that. That was great. I
Fantastic
know I've been a little
Foursome.
critical
was
of
funny.
your.
No, it was hilarious, dude.
I've been a little
fuck
critical
But
in
yeah,
the past, Paul.
keep bringing up.
That made up
Wait,
for
it.
the reach around, right? He reaches to the crotch behind him. What is the guy behind him doing? Reading a newspaper? A reach around is when you reach around front and you jerk the guy off that you're inside.
Well, thanks for clarifying.
Yeah.
I thought
You're speaking from experience.
No. I mean, I
I'm just
honestly
saying I
thought
didn't-
the same thing for a long time, but then I heard like some comedy special.
Yeah.
The guy was like, "Yes, you gonna jerk me off too, like a reach around?" I was like, "That's what that is."
Yeah, yeah, because
Wow, my pitch is ruined.
no, you're fine.
Why don't you research reach arounds before you
Just change
All
that.
your bitches are never ruined.
It's
What
like
should it be called, Joel?
Fantastic Foursome.
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
pretty good too.
Because they have different powers, and you say flexible four, it means they're all flexible. Fantastic Foursome. Done.
All right.
Yeah, reach around is like the rusty trombone involves a reach around.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I call them.
Rusty trombone's when you're licking somebody's butthole and you reach around the front and jerk
Yeah.
them off at the same time.
Those of you can't see, I'm doing a rusty trombone.
For those of you who don't
I
find
would-
Schlocktalk educational,
Yeah.
now you've been served.
I was in the Navy for 5 years. I'm a fucking expert.
Oh wow.
All right, so I got something. I'm going to read you something that is from the actual world of the movies, and you guys gotta fucking tell me where it's from.
Ooh.
So here's a synopsis. After moving his family back to his hometown to be with his friends and their kids, Lenny finds out that between old bullies, new bullies, schizo bus drivers, drunk cops on skis, and 400 costume party crashers, sometimes crazy follows you.
I know what this is.
All right, so
My
Gabe
next
knows.
wild pitch.
So Gabe knows.
I have no clue.
Is it coming to theaters?
No, it's the worst movie of 2013.
Worst
I would
movie of
say it's the
2013.
worst movie I've ever tried to watch for 10 minutes.
Did Michael Bay direct it?
No,
And
James
no.
Cameron?
No, it
Dennis
has one of my
Dugan,
fucking
right?
heroes in it.
And then Dennis Dugan directed it, right?
I have no idea what this is.
Wow.
It is Grown Ups 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Grown Ups
in that,
2.
Who in that movie do you admire? Norman?
Adam Sandler. He's a childhood hero of mine.
How
How is that? Like, have you ever
When
noticed?
you're 13 and someone's yelling like penis, it's really funny. I like that guy.
That's sad.
But you're a grown man now, and clearly now I can see. Like, have you ever noticed that every Adam Sandler movie, he's always got like some hot girlfriend or some hot wife?
Yeah.
I think he's insecure.
I think yeah, no shit, because every woman he has is out of his league.
Yeah, ridiculously out of his league.
Like especially the reason why I couldn't see it. I'm gonna tell you the opening scene. There's a deer in his bedroom, and he wakes his wife up and he's like, "Honey, you got to be quiet because I know if you wake up and scream like you are going to do, the deer's going to jump up and pee in my mouth." And she wakes up and screams, and the deer pees in his mouth. And while the deer's peeing in his mouth, the woman says, "Close your mouth." That is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. I couldn't turn that shit off fast enough. It was like I was watching a porno. Like when you're watching a porno.
I thought it was a porno. The way
No,
you
like
described
seriously, when you're watching a porno and your wife walks in, when you're watching Grown Ups 2 and someone fucking sees you doing that shit, you turn it off. And you're like, "What were you doing?" "I was jacking off!"
Yeah.
And you pretend you were doing anything else but watching Grown Ups 2 because then they'll know how fucked up you are.
You're watching Grown Ups 2 in a cubicle at work, and somebody
Adam
walks
Sandler
by.
has been listening to
Immediately
our
pull your
wild
pants
pitches,
down around your ankles.
and I think we need to sue that motherfucker. That's clearly one of Paul's wild pitches, and he's just fucking completely ripped it out of his dreams.
So don't. Grown Ups 2 is fucking terrible. Seriously, I couldn't watch more than half an hour of it. After half an hour, I have no clue what the fuck happens. It was like 27 minutes when I stopped because I realized I'm going to kill myself if I don't fucking stop watching this movie.
Well, obviously Gabe knew what it was, so let's ask Gabe what he thought of the movie when he watched it.
I had better time watching it than I did watching American Hustle.
Oh, shit.
So you're like a snob, huh?
I watched American Hustle at the movies, which I like going to the movies, and I was like, oh god. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes long. It's got Jennifer Lawrence, half naked, And I was still like, oh god.
He does
Yeah,
a
you'd
podcast
think that would
about
be
movies
amazing.
And he likes movies. Fucking I even thought that.
No, you're a snob, Gabe.
No, it
Gabe
was
likes-
so American Hustle was a wannabe Goodfellas. That's what it was.
American
So what
Hustle
you're
was
saying,
a
Craig,
letdown.
is Gabe likes movies like I like eating shit.
Yeah. I'm saying
That's fair.
I'm saying that he's a snob because he's like, American Hustle was a letdown. You expected more. Grown Ups 2 was going to McDonald's and ordering a Big Mac, but instead you got McShit in the bag. Someone took a shit in the bag.
And lit it on fire.
Yes,
and
exactly.
threw it
Here
at
you
your
go.
doorstep.
And then you
exactly
still
what you
didn't know
ordered.
the difference between the Big Mac. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
So
They
That's
taste the
my
same.
problem.
There's no difference.
you're saying,
Isn't Kevin
you know
James
what?
in that movie?
I would
Yeah.
rather eat a piece of shit than an undercooked steak. That's what you're saying right now.
It has Kevin James. It has
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. It has Nick Swardson. It
Yeah.
has Shaq,
Oh, God.
Wow.
Maria Bello,
Well, you know,
Salma Hayek.
I know. I'd rather watch 47.
What the hell
Ronin.
was Selma Hayek? She's married to like a
How was
zillionaire.
47 Ronin?
She's married to
know, I
Adam
haven't seen
Sandler
it.
in the movie.
I know, but in real life, she's married to like some absolute zillionaire.
Right.
Like the guy owns half the planet,
Yeah.
and she stars in Grown Ups too.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like, what the fuck dirt does Adam Sandler have on these hot fucking actresses he cast in his part? He got fucking Al Pacino to do fucking Jack and Jill.
Which was kind of awesome.
I like to think
actually.
it's money, but it wasn't. He took
I've
advantage of
never
some
seen that movie.
desperation.
You
Yeah.
watched Jack and Jill?
I
I
did.
didn't watch it. But I
watched
seriously.
it. I watched it for Al Pacino because he fucking like goes apeshit in that movie.
Well, he did it with Jack Nicholson in Anger Management too. I mean, the guy
Yeah.
gets big names to just basically shit themselves for no particular
I
reason.
think Adam
It's
Sandler
disturbing.
has got some bugs in people's apartments. He found Al Pacino fucking a 2-year-old or something like that, and he's like, "Do my fucking movie, or I air this video."
Well, hopefully Meryl Streep has a sex tape because I really want to see that pairing.
Well, you know, the sad part is if he just let them air the video about him having sex with a 2-year-old, it would still do less damage to his career.
Exactly.
Why don't they just go that route?
He'd just be
Jesus.
like, "I was just method acting for a new role I'm doing."
No, I was fucking a kid.
He went the
Hoo-ah!
Pete
Wow, shit happens, you know.
he went the Pete Townsend route. He's like, I have all this child porn on my computer because I'm doing research on child porn, not because I like it. Anyway, I think we
No,
just
that's
got
a
way
good
too
idea.
serious.
That's a good. Oh,
It's a really bad idea, believe me.
believe me, that sounds like you have experience.
I don't think that defense will hold up to the entire town holding torches and pitchforks, waiting to fucking lynch your ass.
I just got out of prison for 17 years. Believe me. That shit just.
Anybody have anything else?
No.
All right. So just remind everybody to like us on Facebook.
Face pick.
Facebook.
I do that all the time.
Get your finger out of your nose.
Remind everybody to like us on Facebook, go to the website, schlocktalk.com, and follow us on Twitter at Talk